How can you create a calm yet productive place to work? This week's business book recommendation is for It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work by Jason Fried and David Heinemeier Hansson. This book is about creating a calm place to work. It tells the story of Basecamp, the author's own business, and all the protocols they have put in place in order to create a calm and productive work environment. So what did I learn? Well, a bunch of different ideas, such as fewer communications and setting a precedence that you shouldn't expect people to respond immediately, which allows people to not have to always be on, or letting employees get on with it, trusting them to work autonomously and giving them the freedom to make decisions and manage their own time. Focusing as much on time off as time on, ensuring rest and relaxation are priorities for everyone. Many of the ideas would be hard to implement if you didn't have power, so to speak, but the concepts are worth hearing and figuring out what you can adopt for yourself. What does it make me think differently about? Availability. Even though I work for myself, so don't have bosses, I still have a weird need to respond to client emails ASAP. But clients wouldn't expect me to be just waiting for their email all the time, so why am I so worried? If it were burning, they'd phone. Do you really need to be available to respond that quickly? Do you really? What actions did I take? Well, one of the sections I really liked, mainly because it reminded me of how much worse I had it in the corporate world, was the idea of no shared calendars. At Basecamp, no one can see anyone else's, so popping a meeting in gets harder and harder the more people you invite, thus creating a deterrent to those expensive meetings. And also means you can't chop a lovely clear white space of time in half on someone else's calendar. I realised I was doing this with my schedule a call button. Like many business owners, I have a Calendly link. You can schedule with me whenever you want. So I've removed it and replaced it with a give me a couple of options and I'll get back to you email. Not only does this mean better scheduling, but it actually gets to start a conversation with them in advance, and maybe there'll be calls that aren't valuable for either of us that won't need to take place. What's the impact been? Well, there's a bit of a trend in this concept of calm working. I've read a few books that seem to be talking about this, and this isn't a new book, but it's interesting to reframe what work should be. I love my job, and while I completely respect and understand people's need for a work-life balance, I don't want it to be two separate things. I want all of it to be how I choose to live my life. The idea of calm feels like it makes it possible. Really highly recommend it. Have a wonderful day.